The buffet line is open. Grab yourself a pile of peanuts, some city chickens, add a side dish of acoustic guitar making, and finish with a convention hall of future leaders. You've got yourself one extra large serving of Farmers Almanac TV. Hello, thanks for stopping by. I'm Jim Wan. One of the farm hands here at Farmers Almanac TV, his name's Mickey, was recently asked, why? Why were we taking the traditions and values of a time-honored American icon and bringing them to television? Well, Mickey didn't even need to think about it before answering. He just laughed and said, that's simple. People have gotten too far from the corn. Now, he's not saying we all need to go roll around in a cornfield, but I do know that he took a crew to Seattle and met up with a landscape designer named Jennifer Carlson, who, in her own metaphorical way, has gotten closer to the corn. She embodies the why of Farmers Almanac TV. Jennifer Carlson is a landscape designer who believes you can take any environment and turn it into a garden paradise. She utilizes every inch of her space functionally and creatively. No matter the challenge, Jennifer finds a solution that is pleasing to the eye and healthy for the earth.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Carlson in Seattle, Washington. I'm a landscape designer, and I'd like to invite you to my home and my garden and show you some of the things that we're doing with our organic garden. This is a house that we bought 3 years ago, and we've been working very hard to show people what is possible with a very small, humble house on a very busy intersection in the middle of town. We decided that we would create our own view, and we would also create public gardens and green spaces around it to give people ideas of what they can do in their neighborhood and around their house. I really wanted a demonstration garden to demonstrate organic gardening practices. I created raised beds to create a sense of enclosure here rather than putting up a fence and telling people to keep out. So I wanted to create a varying, rich screen of plants that gives us a sense of privacy and a little sense of enclosure when we walk into our space right off of the public sidewalk, but also provide people with tangible examples of what they could do versus a straight stockade fence. We had a very narrow path that came straight out of the front door. We removed that. Well, this is our first path, and you walk through this Japanese-inspired gate. You first walk in and you're in the middle of a very busy intersection, and the first thing you see is a tree. This is the family kitchen garden. This is the pragmatic end of the garden. The front garden is a very decorative, almost formal area showing plant arrangements and built structures. This is a kitchen garden that has vegetables, berries, vines, and outdoor aviaries, and my chickens. So this is our kitchen garden, and we put these bottomless vegetable beds together so that we could really get some vegetables in. The advantage to having them here is that the heat radiates off of this side of the garage and adds extra warmth to the vegetables. This is our newest project. This is called a composting fence. It's built with cedar boards and cedar posts and galvanized wire. It is 5.5 feet high, and there's a 6-inch gap at the bottom. What I'm doing is looking around the entire garden and considering how I can create everything as a resource. And as I stack the woody material through these 2 layers of wire, they become these brown layers. And over time, all of the leaves wilt and brown out, and it looks like an English wattle fence. And at the bottom of this fence, as all of this compost decomposes, it feeds the shrubs on either side of this fence. So we have our 3 hens, and the first one is Beatrice. This is Beatrice. This is Gertrude, and Zelda is up above. And I've had them since they were day-old chicks, and they're now a little over 2 years old. They're laying every day, so we're getting 1 egg per hen per day, and they will continue laying for about two more years.
Jennifer believes everything in her garden is a resource. It yields food for her family and color and beauty to her neighborhood. She teaches us to waste nothing and that even compost can become a work of art. Every egg she collects reflects the relationship that is possible between the human and animal world. Together, we can make beautiful gardens grow.
Can you identify these tools from the past? Here's a hint. They were used as an aid to the primary form of communication in the early 1900s. Are they A, telegraph keys, B, printing plates, or C, pencil sharpeners? Patented in 1904, these devices were used to make writing letters and notes a little easier. You would simply insert your pencil and sharpen as needed. The answer is C, pencil sharpeners.
The earth contains many secrets, one of the tastiest being the peanut. Grown beneath the soil, this little nut contributes $4 billion to the U.S. economy every year. Join us at the birthplace of our 39th president, where we unearth the story of the Plains peanut.
When you think of peanut farming, one place comes to mind for most people: Plains, Georgia. Home to our 39th president, Jimmy Carter, Plains is still an active hub for the peanut industry, and the Carters are still involved in the business.
We have 2 farms that we still operate. One has been in our family since 1833, and the other, what we call a new farm, we bought it in 1904, so it's been in the family now for 101 years. And we still grow peanuts. I was in my field yesterday.
Early fall is harvest time for peanuts, and at the local Plains buying point, the activity is non-stop as the local farmers bring in their daily harvest.
The peanut industry in Georgia is a $500 million industry for our growers. We have over 740,000 acres that we produced this year.
50% of the peanuts in the United States is grown in Georgia. So we have a tremendous impact here in our state and nationally too. And the goal of the farmer, starting at the farmer, going all the way through the processing change to put it on the grocery shelf and to put it on your table. We believe in quality, and the farmers themselves, they start at the ground level doing that.
James Gaston is a local peanut farmer in Plains and has been growing peanuts for 30 years. When Farmers Almanac TV arrived, James was harvesting this year's crop, but not before giving us a lesson on how the peanut grows.
Many people don't know how to grow peanuts. First of all, it's not a nut, it's a legume. It grows in the ground. You start out with a bloom on the peanut plant, and then from that bloom you have a little pig, we call it. It's kind of like a little string, I guess. And it goes down to the ground, and then the peanut forms on the tip end of that little pig. When harvest time gets here, I'll go across the field pulling up various samples randomly. I'll take these to my county extension agent where he has a sandblaster. We pick the peanuts off, and you look at the color of the hull at that time, and he can pinpoint, usually within a few days, the optimum time to harvest. When that time comes, I take my tractor with the peanut digger inverter behind it, and we call it plow up the peanuts, and this plow goes under the row of the peanut. It carries them up something, it shakes them, and then it turns them upside down so that the peanuts can dry. You leave them about 3 days in the hot sunshine, and hopefully at harvest time you have good hot sunshine at that time. The combine will take the peanuts in. It separates them from the vines, throws the vines out the back, and blows the peanuts up into a basket on top. And then when that gets full, we'll dump that in a wagon. After you get your wagon full, then the wagon is carried to a peanut buying point, and I carry mine usually to Plains, to the Foundation Seed Center there, and they'll dry the peanuts, and then it's graded, and then I'm paid on a grade basis.
The buying points are the last stop for most peanut farmers. It's here that the peanuts are cleaned, dried, and stored in warehouses, awaiting shipment to the commercial market.
I would say that for all the row crops in Georgia, without question, peanuts became preeminent, the most important of all. All the way from the tiny Spanish peanuts to the runner peanuts and then to the large peanuts that you roast at baseball games.
It's really great to have something that you can promote that's a product that's good and good for you. But they taste good. It's something that is one of the favorite flavors in America. Peanut butter right behind chocolate, second favorite flavor of the American people. Peanuts are healthy, wholesome, nutritious, and we've got a lot of good information now about the heart health aspects, about using peanuts in diets for diabetics. We've got a lot of good news about peanuts.
What's on your fridge? If you're like most families, the front of your refrigerator is covered with family photos. From your fridge to ours, here's this week's installment of the Farmers Almanac Fridge. Send us your snapshots, tips, or favorite sayings, and help us decorate the Farmers Almanac Fridge. For more details, visit our website at farmersalmanactv.com.
Randy Wood is a legend and a friend of mine. His guitars are in the hands of some of the most famous musicians in the world. On a visit to his picking parlor, he shares a bit of his story, and I reveal my passion for picking and singing. We're in Randy Wood's guitar shop. Gonna sit down with Randy and talk a little bit about his life and his work. Randy, where did you grow up?
Well, I was actually born in Coffee County, down around Douglas, Georgia.
Right.
Lived there till I was about 11. I didn't start playing guitar till I went in the service. I changed jobs fairly regularly after I got out of the service. And I guess that was one of the things that led me somewhat into the music business.
As far as guitar players, you built guitars for a number of pretty good guitar players, as I recall.
Yeah, well, Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, Billy Gibbons, Johnny Cash. Actually did some work for Elvis. We never did, there are stories, I think, that we built some guitars for him, but the only thing we ever did was some inlay work for Elvis. Is it gonna hold pitch all right?
Yeah, but it's got a hollow sound.
Randy Wood Guitars is not just a showroom, it's not just a repair shop, it's not just a concert hall. All of these things are here. But what it seems most like to me is kind of a crossroads country store where people like to drop by and say hello to each other, play a little music sometimes, listen to a little bit of music, catch up on what's going on. it really does seem to be a place that people enjoy dropping by. Is that your impression?
Nowadays, everybody's in such a rush. The world is moving so fast, and everybody's in a hurry to get here, get there, do this, do that. And so we try to slow things down a little bit here and make it a little more comfortable.
Do you still enjoy building instruments from scratch?
Oh yeah, I'd often kid with friends of ours that, you know, after we close up and go eat supper, and then I come back and start the second shift. So I'm over here most nights working also. I get more work done at night because during the day we're meeting people and talking on the phone and what have you. But I look forward every morning to getting up and going to work.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, it's, and I feel real blessed that I was able to find something that I could do that with at an early age.
You're dedicated to quality work, and
Yeah.
people respond to the quality and the work, and I think
And it's, you know, it's a lot of fun, and it makes you feel good when somebody from another state or even another country drops in to introduce themselves and talk about, you know, they've heard about you, this or that, and that makes you feel good. Music's been real good over the years to us, because we could never have gone to some of the places we've gone to and met some of the people we've met, you know, doing anything else.
I ain't got nobody, nobody cares about me. I ain't got nobody to make a big fuss over me. If I don't get some money, I'm going back to the farm. Milk all the cows and chickens, I don't give a golly gosh darn. Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Basil is an annual herb belonging to the mint family, characterized by light green, fairly broad leaves. Mature plants reach about 18 inches in height and appear full and bushy. The foliage is easily bruised. In fact, just brushing against the leaves releases a spicy fragrance. Spicy scented basil leaves, which may be used cooked or raw, are one of the most popular of all herbs used in cooking. Basil is traditional in Italian, Mediterranean, and Thai cuisine, and is an excellent herb choice for adding zip to mild vegetables. Cooks often favor basil for tomato dishes in either fresh or dried form. When cultivating, remember that basil grows best in a sunny location with well-drained, rich soil. Wait until after all danger of frost has passed to plant. Gardeners should also pinch stems to promote bushy, compact growth.
We love to check in on the FFA conventions. When the world's oldest profession, farming, gets together with its newest practitioners, the future just keeps getting brighter.
The FFA was started in 1928, and it is one of America's premier youth organizations. With close to 500,000 members, with 7,000 chapters in 50 states, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, over 50,000 people will participate in this weekend's convention. So let's go in and see what they're up to.
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
What do you guys like about the FFA convention here?
I get to meet a lot of new people.
Meet a lot of new people.
It's fun and it's exciting, it's upbeat, and it's a lot of motivating speakers. And it really gives you an outlook on a lot of leadership skills, which you can inquire in your own chapter and your own meetings.
Good leadership skills that come from the FFA.
My parents have always lived and worked on farm, and that's just the only way I've known is farm life, and I didn't see anything else but getting involved in FFA.
Agriculture in America is productive because of new technologies, new research, new opportunities that are being created every day. And I think it's very important for young people to continuously focus on agriculture and the whole span of the food chain in terms of career opportunities, as well as in terms of looking to the future and the technologies that are going to so substantially continue to change this great industry.
Technology isn't the only thing that's important, but also these higher level thinking skills, the analyzing and the problem solving, and that's what they're going to be needing out there in industry. And so all of those things play a factor, and they've used all those here.
So now, what type of projects are you guys working on?
I did one on arrows for bow hunting.
I did the effects of urine on grass.
My project was on a couple of the different water systems in the Twin Cities area.
And what exactly is in this test tube here?
It's basically plant hormones. We have some anti-mold agents in here to keep bacteria from growing. But it's pretty much everything you'd find in soil.
So this gives it its optimum growing nutrients.
Yeah.
So
And
do you have one that's actually...
We do. This is a Boston fern.
Okay.
Instead of a regular sized Boston fern, if you plant it into one of these test tubes, it'll actually miniaturize itself.
So it conforms to its growing environment.
Exactly.
Boards of facts.
The boards of facts.
Yeah. Questions on the front, flip them up and you can find your answers.
Okay, so like, does a chicken have fur? I'm gonna say...
I hope you know this one.
I probably know. No, they have feathers, okay.
All right, good job.
Can chickens sweat? Yes, because I sweat all the time when I'm, up the bat.
You're a turkey.
I'm a turkey, right? No, chickens can't sweat. No, they must spread their wings wide apart to keep themselves cool, okay.
And actually, if you think about the agribusiness industry, it expands all over the agriculture industry. I don't think you can find a part of agriculture that doesn't touch it.
You can pretty much tie any career to agriculture.
Agriculture is an awesome program to be in. The convention has come to a close, and I had a fun time. Met some interesting folks, learned a lot of new things about farming, met with the Secretary of Agriculture, Ann Veneman. This is definitely a great organization that all of Americans can be truly proud of.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Farmers Almanac TV. If you get a chance, visit us on the web at farmersalmanactv.com, where you can learn more about the people and places we visit. I'm Jim Wan. For Farmers Almanac TV, you take care.
This episode of Farmers Almanac TV is available for $14.95. Please call 1-866-722-3276 to order a DVD or VHS.
Please visit us on the web at farmersalmanactv.com.
Coming up next week on Farmers Almanac TV.
My father used a Farmer's Almanac. I think every farmer that I knew used a Farmer's Almanac, and I still use it. So I think that this is a very important aspect of farmers' lives.
He didn't have the teachers that you have. He didn't have computers or television or even radio or calculator. He was living out here in the woods, and he had whatever books he could find, but his passion for study and learning carried him to heights.
But they just can't believe how wonderful it tastes out there, you know, with the fresh air. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
It's funny because when I think of cooking outside, I always think of barbecues.
Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week on Farmers Almanac TV.
The cow says...